Hey everybody, Chalgrove, and today guys, I'm here to another anime review, and this anime review is to King's Game Episode 3, guys. So let's get into it. So guys, finally, we got a smart character in this freaking series. One who is not fucking insane and understands the fucking situation. Fucking finally. Now, if you guys remember correct, this guy came, this guy in the last episode came running down, pretty much shouting, our main character's name, Noroki. I think that's his name, main character's name. And he pretty much, realized what just happened. First person, one of their classmates is dead, and they've seen everybody else, nearly everybody else getting up on him, hopping and kicking Nobuki, our main character, down to the ground. And he sees the entire situation, and he's telling, this is your goddamn classmate, everyone, and he's pretty much telling him, what the fuck are you doing? Either way, this is bad. You guys cannot be doing this. That's what pretty much, you're all supposed to be working together. That's what he pretty much has been saying. But everybody was like, what? Like, no, hardly anyone. And of course, the insane girl, the main insane girl, she pretty much telling the person, again, trying to force the situation, telling everybody to kill him, trying to help. And what she tried to do, we found out that the girl poster sent the text to, it looks like she has to kill 2 people. Not just one person, she has to kill 2 people by sending text to. And what she tries to do, she tries to force them, trying to force her to send text, not just to Nobuki, but the guy who just came to tell, what the fuck are you guys doing? So in other words, she's telling him to kill this person who, again, who's part of that class, who just find out what's going on, and also telling her to kill someone who had nothing to do with what was going on right here. So that just shows you how crazy this bitch is. Luckily, this girl posted the text, had the courage to not do it, and she ends up throwing her phone away and ends up breaking it. So, in this situation now, she's now at the point where she could die. But now, after separating from this group, because the girl posted say the text, and the guy who came with Nobuki, they end up, taking Nobuki to a hospital. Now, obviously, they didn't get to the hospital yet. They didn't get to the hospital yet because the episode ends with they're not at the hospital yet. But, we found out that this guy, he got an order from the king that he supposed to save someone. He supposed to send text to someone to order them to, he ought to tell them to do an order. And I take it, the order is that he needs to, he has to send a text. He has to send a text to someone to order someone to do something. And it looks like the text he does is that I take it he sends a text to himself technically, or sends a text to someone, to this girl pretty much, just to make sure he saves her life. In other words, he made sure, guaranteed, no matter if she failed her task, he's gonna make sure to save her life. That's what he ends. So right now we're in a position where either this girl is gonna die, or somehow this guy who just came over able to save her life somehow. So there is ways someone can survive the death game, even though they're supposed to die in the death game. So there must be ways to survive. And obviously, I think it was quite obvious from how Nobuki, last episode, how Nobuki tried to save his friend back in the past. And I can see why. If Nobuki didn't tell him to go and get the drink and made sure he was nowhere near anything he can hang himself, there's a possibility Nobuki could have saved his friends. So there are loopholes in the King's Game to make sure someone doesn't die in this game. So there are loopholes, which is something to notice about, guys. There are loopholes. Like, for example, if you got given the order to order someone to do something, that means you could order them not to die. If you order them not to die, and even though it's precisely this person who's supposed to die, there's a possibility they don't die. So the king can't. So there is actually an order that comes to that. So that's something we can't find out. Now, let's get the main process of what the episode focused on. After they separated from the rest of the class, Nobuki tells them what happened to another friend of what he sees himself as a bad guy. Well, Nobuki sees himself as a bad guy because what he ends up doing in the past class, after the death of his friend, another order came in that Noe, that's his other friend who was with him, with the guy who killed himself, but hanged himself. Noe and this girl had to have a popularity contest. Everybody in the class needs to fight for either of these two, and the one who gets the lowest score will be punished. And by the way, it said punished. It doesn't mean they're gonna die. They didn't say they have to die. But the one who doesn't obey the order will die. Will have to be punished. Will be punished. And so, of course, they're all freaking out to figure out who they're gonna fight for. And what Nobuki does, to save his friend, he begs people to vote for Noe because he doesn't want to see his friend die. And luckily, he ends up winning. Noe does up winning, but only somehow because he was able to convince some people who this girl tried to convince by, well, using her sex, using her feminine charms to coerce men to vote for her. But somehow, in the end, Nobuki was able to convince people to vote for Noe. Of course, some people still were able to still voted for this girl, Konan, I think that's her name. But some people did vote for Konan. Some people did vote for Konan. Actually, it was nearly steady heat. They were tied, but luckily, just one vote. This one vote ended up making Noe the winner. And of course, as it ended up being, she ended up taking punishment. Now, the thing is, her punishment was not to die. Her punishment was not to die. But she mentally took it that she had to die. And of course, she was so scared and everything. What she ends up doing, she does self-sacrificing, and she jumps out of a window. She jumps out of a window and kills herself. That's what ends up happening. Well, she gradually dies. She doesn't die straight away from the fall, but she does die. But that wasn't the punishment she was going to give it. The punishment the king was going to give her is that she had to confess her love to the person she was in love with. That's what's the punishment she was supposed to do. Unfortunately, as she died from the fall, the punishment now falls onto Noe, and the punishment is he has to have sex with someone. With someone, by the way. Now, in the hospital before this Kono girl died, from the obviously the fall from the South Suicide she did. The girl, once she died, the order came in. The girl he had to have sex with was with Nobuki's girlfriend, and obviously Noe and both Nobuki didn't really want this to happen, and also his girlfriend as well, but obviously, what Nobuki decides is that he desperately doesn't want to see his friend die, so he tells him, just do it with her, and his girlfriend also agrees with it. Like, they both want to save Noe, and obviously Noe doesn't want this to happen. He doesn't want to do it, but obviously, while Nobuki was pissed off that his friend was willing to die, he doesn't want it to happen, so out of rage, he knocks him out. He knocks Noe out. Now, in this situation, people might feel like, oh, he's knocked out, that means there's no way you're going to save him. But, as he's knocked out, he's immobile, so he tells, pretty much, in the end, guess what happens? Naoki tell his girlfriend, obviously, do while he's unconscious, and of course she obeys, and yes, they end up having sex, and they save Naoe, but, Naoe had to end up having sex with her. Naoki's girlfriend, well, is unconscious, so I see he's going to end up having a scar. He ends up having sex with his best friend's girlfriend, and even though he told her he'd be alright with it, he'll forgive him for doing it, he feels he's going to end up feel he betrayed his best friend, and obviously, he knew, like I said, him and his mom, but overall, his girlfriend said, I'm still in love with Nobuki, I still love you, Nobuki, you're the one I love, he pretty much, and obviously, they cry in each other's arms, so they have to go through this sort of emotional pain, they had to do this, even though they prefer to have sex with each other, that's what they prefer to do it on doing, but obviously, as you guys know, that's this overall situation. So they saved Naoi, but in the course that they had to go through all this pain that Naoki's girlfriend had to have sex with Naoi to save Naoi's life. And even though she didn't want to, she had to do it so she could save Naoki's best friend. So either way, then afterwards, episode goes back to the present day. Naoki finishes off the story of what happened, telling he blames himself, but this guy, the main guy who comes and saves them in the last, before this point, tells them it doesn't matter, man. Not many guys will go that far to save their friend. Not many people out there will go that far to save their friend. Sometimes doing the bad deeds are one of the best ways to save someone. Like, it's sometimes weird, like, there is a possibility, like, for example, if your lover or your best friend is a point that if you don't kill someone, like, for example, if you're in this a certain position where you have to save someone's life, you're in a position where you'd save your best friend or your lover's life, but the only way you can do that if you either have to kill, have sex, or you have to do something that is usually classified as usually bad, to save this person's life. What would you do it? Would you commit this act? My personal opinion, I think I would. So, but I'm just saying that in this position, like, to save my best friend, to save my lover, I will commit a serious act to make sure to save their life. But overall, not many humans would do that. Not many humans would do that. Like, because in my minds, like, possibility I might not do it. Like, even though I think right now I might do it, if I was in a position where I actually have to do it, there's a possibility I might not do it. But as a human, that makes sense, because humans, they can't do something, most humans will not do things that they see as morally wrong. If they see it as absolute wrong to do, they won't do it, even though it will save someone's life. But that's why Naoki done something you can say, even though it was gruesome, in a way, he's a hero because he done something, even though it was gruesome, even though it was bad, he done it in a way to make sure he saved his friend. So, in a way, he done something what he usually can't do. But overall, I'm going to give him respect for that. He done something, even though it was bad. And again, he made sure that at least both his girlfriend and himself agreed to it. At least they both agreed to it. Even though they emotionally never didn't want to do it, they both agreed with it. So at least they knew it wasn't a full betrayal between that trust. So in a way, it was alright. But again, they had to force Naoi to end up doing it because they had knocked him out. But yeah, and that's all I've got to say about what happened in the events of the episode. Now, the animation looked freaking good, I gotta say. The overall facial reactions, people's freaking overall animation, the gore, god damn the gore. Damn! Just gotta say, that looked shit. This series is definitely gonna have a lot of gore. Corpse Party gore, by the way. Corpse Party gore! Better Corpse Party anime, by the way, but Corpse Party gore. Gotta admit to that. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hey guys, that's my review to King's Gate Episode 3. Hope guys like it, because you have fans, if you guys, if I'm else, down below, my stat, and yeah. Also, if you guys want to come on Patreon today, my Patreon's down there as well. And overall, yeah. Hey guys, hope you guys like it, come and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys!